Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Are you familiar with the frustration of a mind cluttered with noise, the agony of indecision, or the paralysis that comes with overthinking? We've all been there, replaying conversations, anticipating outcomes, and trying to solve an endless string of what-ifs in our minds. Today, we'll tackle this challenge head-on, using practical Stoic strategies to help conquer overthinking. If you're ready to break free from this cycle and reclaim your mental space, make sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe. Now, let's dive into the Stoic approach to overcoming overthinking. Number 1. Visualize your overthinking as an external. Overthinking can sneak up on you like a fog rolling in on what was once a clear day. It often starts as a single worry or idea, but it can quickly expand, knocking you off balance. This is a common struggle in today's fast-paced world, where information bombards us like hail in a storm. Our minds get crowded with questions like what if, what next, or what could have been. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, seeing overthinking as an external force. Now, this isn't about making an enemy out of your thoughts, but rather recognizing that they don't define you. These thoughts are invaders of your peace. Picture them as clouds drifting past a mountain. You are that mountain, standing firm and immovable while the clouds float by. So, how do we fend off these invaders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without engagement. Imagine placing each thought in a bubble and watching it float away. This mental exercise lightens their weight and reinforces that thoughts are transient. They can only disrupt your peace if you choose to hold on to them and give them power. By practicing this visualization, you create a mental reflex to detach and let these thoughts go before they build into a storm. As you grow better at distinguishing yourself from the barrage of overthinking, it becomes clearer that you're not just a sum of your thoughts. This distinction acts as a shield, much like earplugs in a noisy crowd. It's a deliberate, continuous effort that strengthens with daily application. When you catch yourself starting to overthink, stop and picture the thought as background noise, unnecessary and separate from who you truly are. By doing this, you're not only protecting yourself from overthinking, but also reclaiming your mental territory and peace. One step at a time. Number 2, take control by refocusing your energy. Have you ever caught yourself spiraling down a rabbit hole of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, replaying the same worries until you're mentally drained? It's like having a bunch of browser tabs open in your mind, each with a video playing on full blast, and you just can't hit pause. This mental multitasking is a hallmark of modern life, where the pressure to keep up with everything often traps us in a relentless cycle of overthinking. But just like a cluttered desk, a cluttered mind needs tidying up. Redirecting your mental energy isn't just about finding peace. It's about reclaiming control and silencing the noise of what could be so you can fully appreciate what is. Seneca, another Stoic sage, effortlessly wove wisdom into words when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This insight serves as a cornerstone for overcoming overthinking by refocusing your energy. To start, ground yourself in the now. Focus on a single task, even a small one, and channel your energy into completing it. This shift in focus pulls you out of the whirlpool of future what-ifs and anchors you firmly in the present. The practical application is simple yet profound. Engage in an activity that demands your full attention. Whether it's organizing your workspace, going for a brisk walk, or losing yourself in a book, these acts require you to live in the now, not in tomorrow or yesterday. By aligning your thoughts with your actions, you're not merely distracting yourself. You're taking control of where your energy flows. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing thoughts, but about managing them. By choosing where to invest your mental energy, you're building mental discipline. The goal isn't to avoid overthinking entirely. That's unrealistic. Instead, it's to recognize when your thoughts aren't serving you and to have the tools to redirect them. Think of it like training a muscle. The more you exercise this power of refocusing, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. And before you know it, The once overwhelming tide of overthinking can be tamed, wave by wave, through deliberate action and presence. Number 3, embrace impermanence and practice letting go. Let's face it, our minds often get stuck in a loop, rehashing past events or worrying about the future. This is the playground of overthinking, where thoughts become sticky, lingering longer than they should. It's a challenge we all face, whether we're students worrying about exams, professionals stressed over presentations, or simply trying to fall asleep while our minds race a mile a minute. In the midst of this mental marathon, we can find solace in the words of Epictetus. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. While this quote may seem heavy, it speaks to a core Stoic concept: impermanence. Everything changes, including the thoughts that seem so persistent in our heads. When we overthink, we often cling to our thoughts as if they're permanent fixtures. Embracing impermanence means understanding that thoughts come and go. They are not eternal. This insight can serve as a beacon of hope when you feel ensnared by overthinking. Practically speaking, embracing impermanence means cultivating a habit of letting go. Think of it as a form of mental decluttering, where you consciously release thoughts that don't serve you. Imagine a river where each thought is a leaf floating on the surface, drifting away. Or see them as clouds, ever-changing, reshaping, and eventually moving on. This visualization provides immediate relief, and over time, it builds a deeper understanding of the transient nature of thoughts. Making this a daily practice can truly transform your relationship with your mind. Letting go isn't about forcing thoughts out, it's about allowing them to leave naturally. It's not giving up, it's an act of courage. It means choosing not to let redundant thoughts rent space in your head, rent-free. As you get better at this, you'll notice a newfound mental space, a quietness that was always there, just hidden beneath the noise of overthinking. Embracing impermanence isn't just a technique, it's a shift towards a more peaceful and present way of living. Number 4, create a worry period. It's a common human experience to have worries nagging at the back of our minds, persistent, like the hum of a refrigerator. Often they're barely noticeable, but unmistakably present. These worries can hijack our thoughts at any time. When we're trying to work, enjoy time with friends, or even fall asleep. It's as if our minds are a stage, and these concerns are uninvited actors that just won't leave. But consider this wisdom from the Stoic teacher Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish, stupid. This quote may seem off track, but it's a bold reminder to prioritize peace of mind over succumbing to worry, even if it might make us appear naive. One strategic way to handle these uninvited worries is by creating a worry period. A set time each day give these concerns their moment on stage, but only as an encore, not the main act. Set aside a specific time, maybe 10 minutes in the afternoon, when you're allowed to give these worries your full attention. During this time, dive into your worries, scrutinize them, understand their roots, and even jot them down. Ask yourself, what am I really worried about? How likely are these scenarios? What can I do about them? Often, this focused examination reveals that many worries are like shadows, seemingly large but without much substance when faced directly. This process also teaches your mind that there's a time and place for worry, and it's not all day, every day. When the worry period ends, move on. You've given your worries their allotted time, now you set them aside. By compartmentalizing in this way, you regain control over your day. The goal isn't to stop worrying altogether, that's impossible. But by containing your worries, you reduce their impact on your life. It's like tidying your mental room, putting thoughts where they belong, and enjoying the tranquility of ordered space. You'll likely find that worries lose their power when they're not allowed to roam free, and life becomes a bit lighter, a bit more enjoyable. Number 5, break down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When overthinking strikes, it can feel like we're carrying the weight of an enormous boulder. The size of our worries often matches the weight of the world, pinning us under a heavy cloud of our own thoughts. This sensation isn't unique to any one of us. It's a shared human condition, made even more intense in a world that demands high performance across all areas of life: work, relationships, personal growth, and social status. The pressure to excel can paralyze us with indecision and fear. Yet, as a guiding light through this fog of overthinking, Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight lays the groundwork for our fifth technique, transforming overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When your mind races with a big worry or a complex problem, the trick is to break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. Ask yourself, what's the very next step I can take? Not the entire journey, just the next step. Acting on that one small step may seem trivial, but it's a powerful antidote to overthinking. By focusing on a single action, you redirect your energy from worrying to doing. It's like untangling a giant knot, working on one small tangle at a time. You're not dismissing the complexity of your concerns. You're navigating through them with purpose and precision. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Each small step you take builds momentum, and as you look back, you'll realize that boulder of worry has transformed into a pile of pebbles. You've crossed over one step at a time. This method teaches patience, resilience, and trust in your ability to confront challenges head-on. Suddenly, what once seemed insurmountable is behind you, and your overthinking is replaced with a sense of accomplishment and clarity. Number 6, shift your perspective to gratitude. Our minds can be tricky. They often lure us into a maze of overthinking about what we lack, what could go wrong, or what we have yet to achieve. This relentless loop can leave us feeling drained and discontent. Overthinking often stems from a focus on the negatives or the not yet in life, overshadowing the good that's already present. Seneca wisely stated, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This nugget of Stoic wisdom is a call to shift our perspective from lack to abundance, from overthinking to gratitude. It's about recognizing the value of the present moment and the many blessings we often overlook while busy worrying about what's to come. The practice of gratitude pulls us out of the ruts of our minds and plants us firmly in the rich soil of now, where life is actually happening. To make this shift, start by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for each day. They don't have to be grand, they just need to be genuine. It could be as simple as a delicious cup of coffee, the comfort of your favorite hoodie, or a message from a friend. This simple practice can pivot your mind away from the cycle of overthinking and towards a sense of appreciation for what is right now in your life. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you're not only silencing the noise of overthinking, but also enriching your daily experience. Gratitude magnifies the positive in our lives, and over time, it can slowly but surely transform our inner dialogue from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This new perspective can change how you approach life's challenges, turning them into opportunities to further recognize and appreciate what's already good in your world. This isn't just about feeling better in the moment, it's about building a foundation of contentment that can sustain you through the inevitable ups and downs life throws your way. Number 7, focus on effort, not outcome. Overthinking often arises from our mind's dance with the future, its outcomes, its what-ifs, and the relentless possibilities of failure and disappointment. This projection into the future can paralyze us with fear, causing us to obsess over potential consequences rather than focusing on the actions themselves. We live in an outcome-driven society where the end often justifies the means. This mindset can lead us to believe that if the outcome is uncertain, the journey isn't worth embarking on. However, a profound quote by Epictetus offers us a clear directive. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on our efforts and intentions rather than the outcomes we cannot control. This doesn't mean we shouldn't set goals or aspire to achieve great things, but it does mean that true value lies in the quality of our efforts, the integrity of our actions, and the virtue with which we navigate our path. Whenever you find yourself overthinking the potential results of your efforts, consciously redirect your thoughts to the effort itself. Ask yourself, are you doing your best? Are you acting with good intent? Are you staying true to your values? This approach encourages you to be fully present in the process, putting in the work and recognizing that this is where your responsibility ends. Focusing on effort liberates us from the chains of overthinking. It allows us to be in the moment, giving our best without the heavy shadow of uncertainty darkening our experience. This transforms our actions from mere steps towards an outcome into expressions of our character and commitment. With this shift in focus, you'll discover that your path is not just a means to an end, but an embodiment of living with purpose, where each step is an accomplishment in itself. As we explore the final 3 strategies, we open the door to fresh perspectives, empowering you to tap into untapped strengths, foster practical resilience, and navigate life's complexities with a sense of balance. Number 8, practice voluntary discomfort. Our minds often lead us into a whirlpool of overthinking when faced with potential discomfort or change. We replay scenarios over and over, trying to predict every outcome and preparing for every possible discomfort. This mental rehearsal can be exhausting, turning our comfort zones into mental prisons where growth is stunted and overthinking becomes the warden. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This quote reflects the Stoic practice of engaging with challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we can train our minds to handle uncertainty and reduce overthinking. It's about taking small, chosen actions that push us out of our comfort zones, teaching us resilience and adaptability. To integrate this into modern life, start with something small. Consider taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or choosing to walk instead of drive. Do something that disrupts your normal routine and sit with whatever feelings arise without judgment. This isn't about punishment. It's about demonstrating to yourself that discomfort isn't as scary as your overthinking mind makes it out to be. Voluntary discomfort has the paradoxical effect of increasing our comfort with various aspects of life. By routinely stepping into what's uncomfortable, the unfamiliar becomes familiar, and our minds learn to quiet. They become less reactive to change and more focused on what can be controlled, our responses. This powerful shift in perspective not only lessens overthinking but also builds a core of inner strength that remains unshaken by the ebbs and flows of life's circumstances. Number 9, reflect on the transience of life. When we're caught in the storm of overthinking, it's often because we've zoomed in too closely on the minute details of our lives, losing sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become a tangle of what if this happens, or what if that doesn't work out, causing us to lose perspective. This microscopic view can make even the smallest issues appear insurmountable, consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short. We are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." This poignant reminder encourages us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence. Each moment spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a slice of life not savored. Stoicism prompts us to ask ourselves whether our worries will hold any weight in the grand timeline of our lives. To counteract overthinking, we should regularly take a step back and consider our lives in their entirety. Recognize that many of the things that consume our thoughts are transient and, in the long run, insignificant. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, pause and remind yourself that life is fleeting. Ask if this moment of overthinking is truly worthy of the limited time you have. By contemplating the transience of life, we naturally prioritize our experiences and concerns. This isn't a call to become morose or indifferent, but rather to cherish the present and focus on what truly matters. It's a powerful antidote to overthinking because it aligns our attention with the now, enriches our appreciation for the present, and diminishes the weight of future-focused anxieties. Let the ephemeral nature of life not be a source of anxiety, but a canvas on which you paint with the vivid colors of presence and engaged living. And number 10, seek wisdom from outside yourself. Our minds can sometimes feel like a maze, where each turn leads to more confusion and overthinking. We try to solve a puzzle only to find that the pieces keep multiplying, leaving us feeling stuck. This is the essence of overthinking, a cycle that starts and ends within the confines of our thoughts, often without a clear exit. Seneca, a man celebrated for his wisdom, said, "Consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters concerning yourself. His counsel may then be useful where your own self-love might impair your judgment." These simple words encapsulate a profound truth that can help navigate the stormy seas of overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking insight from outside ourselves can break the cycle of rumination. It could be the fresh perspective of a friend, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in literature. To apply this in a modern context, look for people whose opinions you trust and respect. It could be someone from your circle or a professional with the experience to guide you. Sharing your thoughts with them can help in two ways. It provides clarity as you articulate what's in your mind, and it opens the door for objective feedback that you may have missed while overthinking. This technique does more than offer practical solutions. It reminds us that human connection is invaluable. When we share our burdens, they often become lighter. This is not a weakness, but a recognition of the collective strength we have as social beings. Let the wisdom of others be the light that guides you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you'll find the puzzle becoming easier to solve. Not because the problems are any less complex, but because you are no longer trying to solve them in isolation. Which of these methods resonated with you? Let me know your reflections in the comments. Today's insights are but stepping stones on our shared path of intellectual growth. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.